Okay, we're looking at mixed exercise 8 from the first year core textbooks. They're on binomial expansion and we're on question 21. So this is an exam question and a problem solving one. So we do get the binomial formula. And first thing I'm asked to do is just find the first three terms when I expand these brackets out. Okay, so question 21, right. So we're expanding 2 plus x over 2 all to the power of 7. Okay, so for us, a is 2, b is x over 2, or if you prefer to write that as a half x, also that's absolutely fine, it's the same thing, and n is 7. So it's going to be 2 to the power of 7 for our constant term, and then from 7 choose 1, the power of 2 is going to reduce by 1, and then I'll have x over 2, so that's this term here. So from 7 choose 1, 2 to the power of 7, and for us b is x over 2. So then my next term is going to be from 7 choose 2, power of 2 will reduce by 1, and the power of x over 2 will increase to x squared, and that looks a tiny bit like a 25, so I'm just going to make sure that's obviously 2 to the power of 5. Okay, and it only wants the first three terms. So first three terms will only be up to your x squared term. There's our first term, there's our second term, there's our third term. So then we just need to be careful simplifying all of those. So the constant term is just 2 to the power of 7. Then it's from 7 choose 1, so that's 7 times 2 to the power of 6, and then divided by 2 for the x over 2. So that gives me 224 for my x coefficient. So then for my x squared, it's going to be from 7 choose 2 times 2 to the power of 5, and then times a half squared. So always just be really careful with your brackets. The over 2 is getting squared as well, so that's a half squared, so that's going to be a quarter. Okay, and assuming I've typed that in correctly, I'm getting 168 x squared. Okay, so that will do. Yeah, so it says giving each term its simplest form. That you will always have to do that. So just always get into the habit of that. Okay, yeah, I don't really like these questions then, where they're not telling us to find an estimate. There's been quite a few of these earlier in the exercise, but they're asking you to explain how. And there's only one mark available. But it can be hard to know exactly how much detail you're supposed to go into. So it'd be better to do too much than too little. So if I was trying to find that approximation, I would take what I actually expanded and put it equal to what they're asking me to approximate. So they're both to a power of 7. So then if I minus 2 from each side, you absolutely would not need to write all these working out. I'm just getting this down so then we can run through what they'd expect you to say. So that would give me x is 0.1. Right, so what I would do, if you do get one of these questions where they just ask you to explain, I would find out the value of x that you would substitute in. It is a bit too much working for 1 mark, but like I said, it's better to be on the safe side. So by the time you've done a few of these, you probably won't need to write all that out to be able to see what value of x would make those brackets equal. But I would specify that x is 0.1, and then I would say that I would substitute x equals 0.1 into my expansion. Okay, I much prefer the questions where they actually ask you to do it, because then you know exactly what they expect to see. Let's just double check. Yeah, okay, so really similar. So as I said, it's so because you might have read that and said, well, I would find out the value of x, but it's worth actually finding that value of x, I think, for that type of question.